Hello and welcome back. So this is yet another of my post TEDx Telford mini interviews, or as I like to call them, minterviews. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Bridget Supple. Bridget, hi.
Hi, lovely to see you again, Jackie.
Likewise. So as is customary, we always begin by asking you to introduce yourself and what you do. So would you like to go ahead?
Certainly. So I'm Bridget, and I actually work mostly in maternity. So about 17 years ago, I did 10 years in the very corporate world. I worked for an international consultancy. So we were particularly looking at data, and I was helping with what was then very new data systems and teaching people how to use them. And then when I had my children, I've got 4 now, I had a seismic shift and moved into maternity, where I've worked for the last, pretty much 16, 17 years now. So I work for a major maternity unit, one of Britain's largest, and I also teach for a couple of charities as well, and I run my own business, so do that. So
Great.
Yeah, keeping busy.
You're a busy lady, yeah, absolutely. And what does your own business do?
So that's also in maternity. So what I particularly do is I teach health professionals about baby brain development, and increasingly now about the microbiome, how our amazing microbial self impacts everything about us and how we live.
Fantastic! What a great summary as well, and that leads really beautifully onto the questions around the TEDx Telford event. So, I guess I should start by asking you what inspired you to put yourself out there and get on that TEDx Telford stage.
Well, I think everybody said it, hasn't it? Isn't it something that you have on your vision board? Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't have a vision board. I've never made a vision board. I would like to be the person who has made a vision board, but in my head, it's always one of those things that you want to do. So what I love about it is that there are so many times where you listen to something and it's an idea that you haven't thought of. And there is this thought, and they call it ideas worth spreading. So
Right.
some are things that are practical things that they've done, or they're showing you something that they found that works. And some are just little brainworms that get in and potter away in your head. So, and it was that side, because I just had an idea that I thought was worth talking about. And then the opportunity came up, and I applied. So I filled in the form and did the little video. And lo and behold, found myself on the stage at Telford TEDx with this amazing group of speakers as well.
Well, it really was a fantastic day as well, wasn't it? And what I don't want to do is to kind of spoil the surprise, the wonderful surprise that people are going to get when they watch your video. And at the time of filming this, I think we're on the 11th or the 12th of October. My days are morphing into one. But I think, guys, that we should have the videos hopefully online within the week. So fingers crossed. There are lots of guidelines that the organisers have to work through to conform, if you like, to the TEDx and TED guidelines. But I highly recommend you taking a look at Bridget's video when it comes out. But just as a sneak peek for those viewing, tell us a little bit about the messages, the core messages from your video.
Fantastic. Well, your microbiome, if you don't know, is your bacterial self, because we live in a bacterial world where every second of every day we are surrounded by trillions of bacteria. And fascinatingly, only in the last couple of decades have scientists realized that actually we are entirely colonized by them. And they are not just on us and in us, but they're a crucial part of how we work. So working this out has helped us explain humans a bit better, and our illnesses and our wellness and everything in between. So you have to stop thinking of yourself as an individual and realize that you are an ecosystem. You're like your own little planet. Now, I love this in so many ways because it takes us in a couple of directions. If you recognize that you are your own planet, so you have different species in different parts of your body, you have drier bits, you have warm, wet tummy, which is like a rainforest, then it helps us understand and hopefully be more ecologically aware, because if we cut down all the Amazon rainforests or all the rainforests in the world, even though we live in the UK, we suffer. So we realize that there is this interconnectivity between us all. And it's the same with your microbiome. If you damage the microbes in your gut, then you as a human may have mental health disorders. It may make you more prone to really quite serious diseases, and there's all sorts of things. So that's one direction. But the direction that I looked at in TED is how this understanding of you as an ecosystem can be transferred to business. that businesses are in fact the sum of all their parts. So managers like to think of themselves as the brains and the head steering the whole thing, but they are governed by what the body does. And the body is more controlled by your gut bacteria than you might know. So that's the correlation. It's how we make a healthier business by understanding a gut bacteria. Does that sum it up?
You see, I'm talking to you at home that's watching this. This is really worthwhile watching. It's a fascinating subject, and you speak with such authority on it, Bridget, from the work that you've done and your experiences. So it's sure to be. I've seen it, so you guys need to watch it and download it and share it with all those people and businesses that are in your network as well. Well, fascinating. And so if there was kind of one thing that you would hope people would take away as a message or as a to-do, if you like, following watching your TEDx talk, Bridget, what would that be?
So one of the things that really led me to this talk was the fact that I have worked in charities, and I've worked in the NHS, and I've worked in business. And what I've seen across all of them is how good leadership and good management make such a difference to the environment that you work in. I've seen it. I've got 4 children. I've seen it in schools. I've seen a good head make or break a school in 2 years. I've seen a bad head do the same. I've seen it department heads in the NHS, that when you have somebody really supportive and on the ball in charge, oh my life, the whole thing transforms. Everybody is better. Everybody works well. But if you have somebody who comes in who is possibly punitive or micromanaging or just not that nice, it all starts to slide, and then the stress levels go up and people's health suffer. So my take-home message is really that how we treat our business body, how we look after the things that make up our business, determines your health or well-being. And whether that is a school, a hospital, a business, an organization, the same rules apply. And it's so easy to understand, to think of yourselves as a whole, as a planet, as an everything, that what we do here has an impact there. And to make it healthier, we just need to have that in mind, really. That was a long take home. I shouldn't have shortened that down.
No, not at all. I think you articulate it beautifully, and it makes so much sense, as you say. So I love that, and people are really going to get a lot from this. So let's talk about your experience of the TEDx Telford event. So what was your favourite thing about the day, if you had just one thing?
Well, the magic of being part of TED, the pressure of being part of TED was huge. Yeah. Honestly, I speak in front of hundreds of people all the time, and I'm quite confident at speaking, but I've never been quite so scared in my entire life. Do you know, when we had the mics on, I was utterly convinced as I stood there that all you could hear coming over the sound system was the sound of my heartbeat going at a million. I thought, there's no way everyone can't hear this. This is not full volume across the auditorium. And so the fact that it was TED felt really special. The fact that it was the first TED, and this beautiful group and team, and the support for everybody who was in TEDx Telford was amazing. So that was both everybody all the speakers together were so gunning for everybody to do well. It was just lovely. Everybody was really invested in each other, and that was just beautiful. But also the people who came along, I love the fact that they did take a chance to come to a TEDx, that they did pay their money, and that they were so engaged with all of the topics. And you know, there's so many people who I've met who don't even know what TED is. But those people, not only did they know, but they were willing to come out and spend their money and do it, and they were really engaged, and I'm hoping got an awful lot out of the day. But I don't know if the magic of TED is the answer, but that's what it felt like, that there was just something really special about it.
Indeed, I couldn't agree more. It was a really, truly magical day. And as you say, interestingly, you talk of this being the sum of all parts. And I think that kind of also epitomised the day in Telford, didn't it, that day? We really were the sum of all our parts, and they came together so beautifully. So, yeah, it was a wonderful event. And Bridget Supple, thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time to speak with me. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people who want to talk more to you about your topic and about the work that you do. So would you like to summarise by letting people know how they can find you or make contact with you?
Super. So probably the best thing to do is I've just put up a new way of contacting me on Facebook, which is the easiest most people are on, called the Business Biome. So you can come on there and make contact. And so hopefully we'll start this debate about how we make businesses healthier by, well, all the things that we talk about in the TED Talk that will contribute to your business being healthier and more successful as well. So the Business Biome.
The Business Bio. So that is the name of
Biome. Biome.
Oh, so B-I-O-M?
E. B-O-I-O-M. Biome.
Okay.
Yeah, like our microbiome.
I'm sorry. Right, okay. So just want to be clear because I didn't catch it. So B-I-O-M-E.
The Business Biome. Yes.
The Business Biome. So you heard it here first. Well, just about. Sorry?
You're thinking of your business as your business biome.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So that's how you can reach Bridget. And Bridget, again, thank you so much. I wish you every success. I know that the universe is going to conspire to bring us back together again, and I truly hope that's sooner rather than later, because it's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you. And once again, thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to go and speak to me today.
Thank you.
Take care for now. Bye-bye.